Welcome to the Quest Diagnostics Employer Solutions Portal webinar. This recorded session is provided as both a resource and reference for you to use as you become familiar with the new ESP system. During the webinar, you will learn how to access results, use administrative tools, and generate reports in the new system. Also, we'll show you how to navigate an ESP, as those of you using QIS will notice a great deal of difference between these two systems. I'm going to navigate to the ESP login page. This is a view of the ESP login page where you will enter your username and password, then click the login button to access the system. If you forget your username, contact your ESP administrator. If you are the administrator for your company and forget your username, call the ESP support line at 855-748-7850. Should you forget your password, click on the Forgot Your Password link. You'll be prompted to enter your username, then click the Submit button. You will see a message that your password request is successful. The system will reset your password and send an email with your temporary password for login. Let's log in and take a look at the ESP system. Upon login, you'll be taken to the dashboard. This dashboard display is similar to what you will see upon login. I'd like to point out some features in the dashboard. If you want to customize the view of the windows in the dashboard, you can do so by pointing your mouse on the gray title bar, left-click, and drag the window to the location that you wish. In the title bar of each section, there is a question mark in the left corner. When you click on the question mark, you will see a description of the dashboard category. Notice the drug and alcohol results window. This window will always display the most 10 recent drug test results. You can also update your user profile by clicking on your name in the upper right corner. This is a view of the user profile and the fields that you can edit. Notice the user alerts. Alerts are email notifications to let you know when testing results are available. Your email alerts will come from noreply@questdiagnostics.com. Alerts are only sent to ESP users, and alert settings are assigned under the user profile. While in the user profile, I want to show you a navigational feature of the system. Notice the gray title bars. You can expand and collapse the title bars by clicking on the minus and plus buttons. The second way to collapse and expand title bars is to use the Collapse All, Expand All text located here. Keep in mind the expand and collapse action applies throughout the system. At any time you're needing help, click on the Help text. The Help link opens the resource page where you will find the Quick Guide and ESP fax documents. The ESP support phone number and email address also appears here. Let's go back to the dashboard and review the ESP menu. It's located here on the left. From the dashboard, we have Profile. Profile displays your company demographic and primary contact information. Next is the Users feature. This feature allows setup and management of ESP users. The Tools feature contains the Collection Site Match and Locator tool, and as you scroll down, there is a link to your ESP training environment. The ESP training environment is an excellent reference and training tool for new users. Next in the menu is Results. This is where users can search and view drug testing records, including the laboratory results report and images of the chain of custody forms. Finally, we have the Reports feature, which has queries of several different types of drug test reports. Now that we have reviewed the ESP menu, let's take a look at each feature in more detail. I'm going to start with results. Notice the results appear in a grid as line items. Right now, the grid is displaying 10 results. You can adjust the number of results displayed in the grid by clicking here. To open a result record, click on the plus button. This displays the result summary, and you can also access additional features in the result record. Keep in mind, the accessible features in the result record is based on user assignment, meaning a user may or may not have access to all features in the result record. In the result record, there is access to the laboratory report, along with copy 1, the lab copy, and copy 2, the collector copy of the chain of custody forms. I'm going to go ahead and click on copy 1 so that we can take a look at a chain of custody image. Notice the options available at the top of the window. You can use these to make adjustments to the view of the image. When you click the print button, located here, the drop-down shows a list of result records you can print. This includes the chain of custody, lab report, and result summary. Once again, this functionality can be modified based on user access and assignments. For instance, if the user is not assigned access to the chain of custody forms, he or she will not be able to view or print those documents. You can also edit result record information by clicking the Edit button. Here we can see the information that can be edited. Once you make changes, be sure to click the Submit button to save the changes. Any edits you make will be reflected in the result record only and not appear on the chain of custody or laboratory results report. Another feature in the result record is the Notes field, located right here. To access this feature, click on the plus sign in the Notes title bar. Simply enter text and then click the Save button. Result notes are displayed in the result record only and do not transfer onto any written report. Within the results grid, you have a number of options available to customize the view to your preference. See the column labels on the grid? You can click on them to sort information. For example, if you click on the donor name label, the results will sort alphabetically by donor name in the column. If you'd like to make changes to the columns displayed or the column label sequence displayed across the grid, click on the Preferences button. Here is a list of your column labels. You can click and drag to rearrange the order, or you can uncheck if you want to remove a column from the grid. Don't forget to save your changes. Over to the right, we have the Hide and Unhide buttons. To hide a result, click on the box off to the right-hand side of the line item, then click the Hide button. Clicking Unhide will restore all previously hidden records. Now that we've reviewed result records, I would like to show you how to search for results. There are a few ways you can search for results. You can use the slider bar, perform a basic search, and an advanced search. Let's start with the slider bar. The slider displays results posted in the last 90 days. To narrow the search, you left-click the slider bar and move it to display results within a date range. If you need to search for any records older than 90 days, be sure to inactivate the slider by clicking here to enable an extended date search. Now let's look at the basic search. Notice the fields at the top of the page. We can enter information into the fields, then click the search button to find results. Keep in mind that entering more information into the fields results in fewer and more closely matched results. The Search Fields button, located here, permits you to customize the 4 basic search fields. Just like the preferences in the results grid, you can click and drag to rearrange the order, and you can also uncheck to remove the search option. To perform an advanced search, click on the Advanced Search text. Here you will enter detailed information into the fields and then click the search button. Once again, more information entered returns more closely matched results. This concludes the results review. Next, we're going to take a look at the Users and Tools feature. The landing page in the Users displays a grid of all users currently set up under your company. The information displayed includes the username, login name, and status. You can deactivate and activate users by clicking the checkbox on the left of the username and then selecting either the Activate or Deactivate buttons. To reset a user password, click on the username from the grid. That opens the user profile, and here's where you find the Reset Password button. The user will receive an email with a temporary password to use at the next login. Okay, now we're going to review user setup. The most important thing to remember when setting up users in ESP is that all users must be assigned to a user group. Notice the series of tabs displayed across here. These tabs access details of your users and user groups where you will manage users and the user groups. I'm going to take you through setting up groups and then creating users linked to a user group. We're going to start with the Add Group tab. There are 3 standard user group templates already installed in ESP for you to use. From the drop-down menu, they are HR Staff with search-only access, HR Staff with full menu access, and HR Admin. You can click on a template and then you'll be able to see the default settings for that user group. Let's look at the settings under HR Admin. I'm going to scroll down so you can see the assignments under the user group. We have administrative activities, drug test results access, and reports access. If you are satisfied with the defaults under the user group template already established, you can use this group for user assignment. If you want to modify the template defaults, you can do so and save the changes. For example, you can make changes to the results access, or you could even change the template name. Just don't forget to save your changes. The Save buttons are located at the top and at the bottom of the page. If you need additional user templates outside the 3 already established, you can create a group. Let's look at creating a new user group. From the drop-down menu, I'm going to set the default back to Select One, which clears the template. Now you just complete the required fields. First, I'm going to assign a name to the group. I'm going to call this group Managers. Now, I need to assign the administrative access. I'm going to always assign access to the training environment and then also collection site match. On to drug and alcohol results access. I'm going to permit full menu access with full access to copy 1 and copy 2 of the chain of custody form. For the results detail display, I'm going to allow detail all. Under reports, I'm going to allow this user group to create all reports. Now I'll click the Save button. We now have a message that the Managers group has been created, and now you can add users to the group. From here, I'm going to click on the Groups tab. We can see all of the groups established under the company, and you can also see the new group Managers that we just created. You can see the number of users assigned to the group. You can view the group details. You can add users from here, and then you can also delete a group if needed. I'm going to open the administrative group and take a look at the details under the group. Under Users, we can see a list of all users assigned to this group. When we click on the username, it opens the user profile. Remember we talked about drug and alcohol result alerts earlier. This assignment determines if a user is sent an email alert when new results are available. Those alerts are sent from noreply@questdiagnostics.com. To turn on user alerts, meaning the user will receive an email, set the flags in the column to on. As we scroll down, you can also see the accounts the user has access to, and you can also see the user group assignment. You can make changes to the user profile from here. Just don't forget to click Save. Now I'm going to go back to Groups. With our new Managers group set up, the next step is to add users to the group. There are a couple ways you can do this. You can click on the Add Users text, or you can go to the View Group Details and click on the link here. My preference is to add users in the group details because then I'm able to see all the assignments underneath the group. Adding a user opens up the user profile where you will go ahead and complete the required fields. You'll complete first name, last name, email address, and phone number. You will assign user alerts. You will assign the account access. And then finally, you will add the user to a group. The system will assign a login name and email the user a temporary password to use that login. Clicking at the Users tab will allow you to confirm any users you set up are actually created. Let's navigate to the Tools feature now. Here we have the Collection Site Match tool and also the ESP training environment. To begin a collection site match, you're going to enter information underneath the required fields in the Match Criteria title bar. Let's create a collection site match report. I'm going to name my report. I'm going to enter a zip code, which is a required field. Next, I'm going to select the type of collection site I would like to query for. In this case, I'm going to query for patient service centers. Next, I need to establish my search radius. In this case, I'm going to indicate 5 miles to 10 miles. Under the collection services I'm looking for, I'm going to select urine non-regulated drug screens. Now I can scroll down and click the Submit button, and the system will generate the collection site report match. And here our window is open, and we can view the collection sites available based on the criteria entered. All demographic information is displayed. Access to more site details and a link for directions is also included. The last feature we're going to review is reports. There are a number of different reports available to you in ESP to help manage and monitor your drug testing program. To run a report, you can select the report from the list, or you can select the report from the drop-down menu. Let's run a client activity report. Selecting this report opens a window where you'll enter required report criteria. Once all of your information is entered, click Create Report to generate the report. Here is a view of the report. You have the option to print the report, and you can also export this report. Keep in mind that the export will be generated as a CSV Excel file. This concludes the ESP review. If you are needing assistance with the new system, please contact the dedicated ESP support line at 855-748-7850. or you can also email us at esp@questdiagnostics.com. Quest Diagnostics is very excited about the new Employer Solutions portal and would like to thank you for attending the ESP training webinar.